everybody, it's Corey from Gemini Guitar. Welcome back for another video, and this is something I would describe as atmospheric. You might term it something like shoegaze, metallic shoegaze maybe. I've even heard some atmospheric black metal bands do stuff like this. Now, just before we begin, remember that if you want to support the channel, all you need to do is just head over to the download store. There's a whole bunch of products there to check out, and you can buy any or all of them. Packs available, and you can save some money if you buy the packs. So if you're able to do that, would be greatly appreciated, and links just below, down in the description below this video. Okay, so we're starting out. There's a couple of different ways you can approach this. We're starting out with an A minor third. That's just the A note and the C note. So A being the root, C being the third. Also note that I am using a bit more reverb than usual. Most of the time I have just a tiny bit. Today I've increased that a bit just to sweeten up the sound a bit. Apart from that, no other effects though, apart from the distortion, of course. So anyways, we've got that shape. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the open A string with that, and I'm just basically strumming it using a down-up constant motion. And what I'm doing is I'm just keeping those root notes, the A notes, and I'm changing the top note. So I'm doing the C note first, and then I'm going to change over and use the D note. That's at fret 7, just below the third finger on the third string. Then I'm going to use the B note at fret 4 on the same string. And then I'm going to head over again back to where we started. Also note that my thumb is just lightly muting string 6. So this is the first part of the riff. Now there's another way you can do it. I don't personally like to do it this way. I may have done it in the introduction, I can't be sure, just to demonstrate it, but it's up to you. So you could use the middle and the fourth finger for the beginning shape. And then what you would do then is you would bar the fourth finger down for the next shape. So it's come off. Now the reason I don't like that is generally because my pinky ends up a little bit too far this way, and I have to sort of come up a bit with that and then bar. So to me it's just as easy just to do it this way. In fact, you could just stretch the first finger out. See? Now after that we're going down for the G bass. That's at fret 3. And what I did there in the introduction was, actually I think I did this. That's better. So we've got the third finger and the middle finger, both at the 5th fret on the 3rd and the 4th string. It's basically a G sus4, very small G sus4. Head on over then with the 4th finger to the 7th fret on the 3rd string. So far we get... Do a slight reposition, so we want, this is basically just a G major chord, so we want the 3rd finger, or the 1st and the 3rd finger doing the octave, then we've got the middle at fret 4 on string 3. Then we go back for the 4th finger on the 5th fret, string 3. So there's basically 4 separate parts to each part of the progression, if you think about it. So basically your melodic notes are changing, your top notes. And here. Didn't quite fret that right. And they're the same progression of notes, see? So this is a pretty cool effect. You can use this in any form of metal, really. It creates a really emotional, powerful, repetitive sound. Now, with the last part of it, there's lots of different things you can do here. That's one of them, but I think what I did initially... was something like that. So I've set up the F octave, fret 1 on string 6, fret 3 on string 4. And then we've got, actually this is the way I did it, yeah, I remember now, because that hurts my hand a little bit, honestly. Not as flexible in there as I used to be. So what you would do is you'd use 1st and 3rd, and then you're going to use your 4th finger at fret 4 on the 3rd string. And you can just use that 4th finger to stretch over for the other one. It's still a bit of a stretch, but it's a much more pleasant stretch. I think the first time through I just alternated between that note, the B note, and the C note. The second time through what I did, I think I went back to the A note at fret 2 on the 3rd string. So it was like... That's one way you could do it. I may have done it like this. It really doesn't matter. I mean, you know, when you learn this idea, then of course you're going to start experimenting and, you know, changing the notes around in whatever way you want to do. So, and that's always what I would recommend to do. You know, get the idea and then make it your own. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, really. It's just a matter of then realizing all I'm really doing is just using some root notes. And then I'm using the A minor scale on the 3rd string, a mixture of those through each part of the progression. In fact, they're pretty much the 4 notes, really. So D, C, B, and A. So yeah, so that's pretty much that. We'll just have a playthrough just a little bit slower so you can see it at work, and then you can go and work on it yourself. One thing I forgot to mention there was when I went from the F part, oops, what I did to come back to the beginning of the cycle again was I just used the sus4 to major at the G. I suppose you could say this sounds a little bit like something like Alcest would do, although I know that they tune their guitar down, and in fact they may even use an open tuning. I don't know. I haven't tried to learn their music, but yeah, it kind of reminds me of something they might do. But obviously, you know, in the different tuning. So that wraps things up. Don't forget to check out the website. A bunch of other free content there you can check out, and I will see you at the next lesson. Bye for now.